You ever wonder what clean really smells like? Not the lavender-scented, chemical-soaked kind of clean, but the real stuff. The kind that comes from a wooden bucket sitting by a back door. The kind the Amish have been mixing up for generations. No labels, no noise, just soap, soda, and a way of life so quiet it speaks louder than anything in a store aisle. Today, we're stepping into that world. Going to show you not just a recipe, but a rhythm, a way of living, and a bar of soap that does more than clean your clothes. It tells a story. The bucket that sits by the back door. In many Amish homes, you'll find it. A 5-gallon bucket with a wooden lid, or maybe just a damp cloth covering it. It sits quietly near the mudroom, or tucked behind the wood stove. Inside, the good stuff. That homemade liquid detergent. Thick, cloudy, kind of lumpy sometimes, but it works better than most things off a shelf. They stir it with an old wooden spoon, the same one they've probably had for years. No labels, no stickers, just muscle memory. 2 scoops per load, sometimes 1, depends on the dirt. And somehow, that bucket never seems to empty. It's like it lasts forever. Maybe it's how they make it, or maybe it's just how little they use. Either way, it's become part of the rhythm, part of the routine, like kneading bread or hanging quilts. You grow up with it. You come to rely on it. It becomes just another quiet part of the day. You pass by it and don't even think. Scoop, pour, done. That's it. Grating soap with cold hands. You ever grated a bar of soap in the winter? In an unheated washroom with a wooden floor and a draft sneaking through the boards? It ain't glamorous. It's slow. Sometimes your knuckles get scraped. Sometimes the bar slips from your grip. But Amish women do anyway. Bare hands. No fancy gadgets. Just a box grater and a solid block of Fels-Naptha or some homemade goat milk soap. It flakes down into the enamel bowl like soft cheese. Dry and crinkly. Smells sharp and clean. The motion gets repetitive. Your mind wanders. You think about dinner, or how the baby hasn't napped yet. Then suddenly, it's done. A soft mountain of soap curls, ready to be mixed. And that's a small kind of victory. Might not seem like much to most people, but in a world that runs fast, this feels like a kind of defiance. Slow hands, cold fingers, real soap. A recipe passed without paper. They don't write it down. Not really. The recipe lives in heads and hands. It's passed in conversation, sometimes while folding clothes, or when teaching a young girl how to run a washboard. 2 cups of soda, 1 of Borax. Grate fine, mix it dry, or cook it down. Up to you. That's how it goes. No recipe cards, no laminated instructions, just memory. And trust, and repetition. Over time, your hands know how much to add. Your eyes know when the soap is melted enough. And your nose? Well, it tells you if it's clean. Not by scent, but by absence of stink. Clean has no smell, the Amish would say. Clean is just clean. Stains don't stand chance. You think homemade detergent might be weak. Nope, not this stuff. It's serious. Sweat stains, grass, oil from machinery, baby spit up. It pulls all of it out. Sometimes they add a little boost. Rub the bar directly on the fabric first. Let sit, then wash. You'd be surprised how powerful a mix of fat and ash and soda can be. And there's no foam. None of that bubbly drama from commercial soap. But don't let the lack of suds fool you. This ain't about looks. It's about results. Amish women don't have time to rewash things. It better come out clean the first time. And it does. Wash day is sacred. They have a whole day for it. Usually Monday. Wash day. The whole household shifts. Breakfast quick. Fires get hotter. Water's hauled. Tubs are filled. The wringer washer hums like an old heartbeat. That soap, made last week, gets scooped and poured with care. Shirts, overalls, aprons. Everything gets sorted, soaked, scrubbed. You hear sloshing. Smell hot fabric and clean water. The soap, it vanishes into the work. doesn't leave behind artificial perfumes. Just this crisp, neutral kind of clean, like cold air or sun-dried sheets. And when it's all done, they don't toss things in a dryer. They hang it up, out on the line, one by one, until it flaps like banners of everyday life. That's how it's always been. Children learn early. Little ones don't get left out. They help. Maybe they stir the bucket. Maybe they grate half a bar while someone else does the rest. Maybe they hand you the clothespins. Doesn't matter. They're watching, learning, picking it all up without being told. And when they're older, it's second nature. They don't think twice about what goes in their detergent. They know, because they've seen it 100 times. That's how tradition stays alive. Not through lectures, but through doing and redoing and doing again until it's in your bones. Part of who you are. Even the soap is homemade. Not always, but sometimes. When they've got extra lard or leftover tallow from butchering, they boil it, mix and lye, let it set in wooden molds, cut it by hand, cure it on shelves. That's real soap. Sharp, strong, a little harsh if you're not used to it. But boy, it works. And when you grate that into detergent, you're using something your own hands helped make. There's pride in that. Deep pride. No logos. No factories. Just animal fat and ash turned into gold. Almost biblical, that kind of transformation. Feels right. Rainy days and drying indoors. Not every day's sunny. Sometimes the rain falls heavy, or the cold is biting. Clothes can't hang out then, so they string lines indoors. In the attic, across rafters, above the stove, the smell of drying laundry and wood smoke mixes. Damp clothes slowly give up their moisture. And the soap? It still works, even in cold water, even without sunlight. Because it's not about the weather. It's about the process, the rhythm. The soap just plays its part, quietly, always ready. City folk are catching on. Truth is, people outside Amish communities are starting to catch on. They're tired of paying high prices for plastic bottles of chemicals, tired of allergic reactions, tired of waste. So they're reaching back to the old ways. They find these recipes online, or in books, or sometimes from Amish neighbors willing to share. And when they try it, they're hooked, surprised by how easy it is, how cheap, how satisfying. It's like discovering fire for the first time, and a small piece of that old, quiet world comes into their homes. Through a bucket, a bar of soap, a load of laundry. It's not just soap, it's a way of life. At the end of the day, this recipe is more than just ingredients. It's a philosophy, a lifestyle, a rebellion against excess. It says no thanks to toxic brands and glossy marketing. It whispers instead, make your own, do it slow, do it right, use what works, and waste nothing. That's the Amish way. Not because it's trendy, but because it's been that way for generations. It's deep, old, proven, and the detergent? It's just one thread in the fabric, one small part of a larger whole. But it tells you everything you need to know about patience, about care, about the beauty of less. That's the thing about Amish soap. It ain't just soap. It's patience. It's history. It's simplicity in a world that's gone way too fast. Maybe it's time we all slowed down, grated a bar by hand, watched the suds fade into nothing, but felt the clean in our bones. If this stirred something in you, maybe it's no accident. There's more where this came from. Right here, on the Rustic Pantry. Don't forget to stick around. We're bringing old ways back to life, one quiet story at a time.